G'day folks, it's Rob here. Just wanted to thank all the awesome third tier patrons from Patreon who decided to come to the hangout today. Had an absolutely marvellous time, folks. Did anyone notice that we nearly ran to 3 hours instead of the 1 hour in length? I don't care at all. I had a fantastic time. Great catching up with everyone from over in the States as well as the Aussies who joined in. Yeah, so the reason, besides thanking you folks, is to let everyone else know who's a third tier patron that the last one for 2016 will be held in 2 weekends time. So for you in Australia, that's the 18th, Sunday the 18th. For folks in the States, that will be Saturday the 17th. And for you unlucky people in Europe, I know in London it's around about 2 AM. So a little bit of an early one for you guys. So if you want to come along, check out the Patreon wall. There'll be a link in the description below. And yeah, when I go up from filming this, I'll set up the hangout details and all that so you can mark it in your calendar now and not miss out. For everyone else, yeah, head on over to the Patreon page. It'll give you some idea on what we do over there. There'll be a link down below you can suss out. And another thing I wanted to just show you guys is an idea I've come up with, thanks to Mel helping me out with this one, for trying to keep the temperature a little bit more balanced in the system. We were supposed to have a bit of a mini heat wave here in southeast Queensland. It hasn't sort of eventuated yet, but I took a few precautionary steps just in case. Just to give you some idea on the temp at the moment, we're running in with a water temp of roughly 27 degrees Celsius. So I think that's in the 90s somewhere, maybe a little bit below 90 Fahrenheit. So I'm pretty happy with that considering we've had a couple of days of 35 plus degrees weather. So the fish are still happy in there. Silver perch, they really don't like it much warmer than 26, but they seem to be feeding all right. The system itself though, no sign of wilt anywhere in here. Everything's looking rather happy. We have another load of beans that need to come off, and those 2 cucumbers will be coming off this afternoon. So just around here on 3 of the grow beds, what I've done is I've pulled out the bell from around the standpipe and the bell siphon. So that means that this bed here, the one over the sump tank, and this little satellite bed are all full of water. They're effectively running as a constant flow bed. Now, that's probably contributed over 300 extra litres of water to the system, and as you know, the more water volume you have, the more stable the temperature will be. It's basically harder for the temperature to shift up or down. So I'm really chuffed with the way it's gone with the water sitting around about 27 degrees. As you can see though, the sump is also very full. That's because we had a bit of actually 2 storm fronts move through last night, and the water's pretty much all at its maximum level. That barrel system there, those 3 beds are connected to 1 bell siphon. They've still got the bell on it, and this grow bed over the back, it still has the bell over the top of its standpipe. So they're still acting as flood and drain beds. And as the water level drops, I'll just pop the bell over the top of the standpipe again, and then that bed will become a flood and drain and the water will drain back into the sump. Basically, I don't think I'll have to add any outside water into the system for a week or 2. Well, hopefully that'll be all I'll need to do. Just to show you this shade cloth that I've added over the top as well. We did have just the normal 30%, if I can grab it here. Sorry for the shaky camera work, but as you can see, it's fairly transparent. And this one here, I've popped over I think it's a 70%. So that's just also helped to keep the heat from the top of the clay, so it's not warming up the water. As Mel pointed out too, because these beds aren't flooding and draining, we're not getting the hot air being dragged down into the clay, so the clay is staying relatively cool. So that's another bit of a benefit of having these beds flooded continuously. I suppose while we're at it, I might give you a bit of an update. You might have seen just over here, there's some tissues just in the grow beds. That's not because I left my snotty rags down here. I released some mites, some beneficial mites into here, and those tissues were part of the packing, so I can pretty much all pull them out now. Around the back here, as you can see, the rabbit ear lettuce is going to seed, and Bo, I'd say it's probably going to be this plant we're going to collect the seed from. So that's probably, you might have a little bit of a wait yet. You would have seen these 2 gingers being planted out in the ginger clip, if you've already seen that. This one here is part of the finger root that went into the root pouch at the back stairs. I knocked off one of the shoots, so I just popped it in here. But this ginger from the barrel has started to shoot. You can see one little shoot down in there, And there's another one over here. This one here shot as well. Where are we? There we go. There's my finger down in there. And this one over here had shot too. There we go. So yeah, a little bit of an update on the system. So I'm pretty chuffed about that. And also to show you, these plants are bouncing back after I chopped them back from the caterpillar attack. Even the Brazilian spinach has put on some growth. So all in all, I'm fairly happy with the way that the system is going at the moment. We did have that big storm cell that came through last night, and there's some of the victims. We lost 3 mangoes from the tree, and also blew over the chicken coop panel onto the ginger bed. So I'll pop down there and pick that up in a minute. Just give you a bit of a look at the poor little Hocking's eye. I don't think they would have enjoyed the storm yesterday, flying around in that. Just back up near the fish tanks here, and just to show you quickly, we do have some ginger that's already sprouted in this large root pouch garden, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. I'd say these plants will probably give us the biggest rhizome because they'll have the longest growing season. So once again, thank you very much to all the fantastic patrons who came along today. It sort of put me on a bit of a high. I want to get out here and do a little bit more work in the patch, but yeah, I haven't got a lot to do today, unfortunately. So yeah, but check out the link below if you're interested in joining us over on Patreon. For everyone else who is just coming along for the ride and checking out the clips, I hope you're all well and happy and your aquaponics are booming, and I will catch you next time. Cheers folks, have a great one. So just around here at the grow beds, what I've done is dropped my camera. Just before we go, I thought I'd give you a bit of a sneak peek at these bananas in a root pouch. There's about 4 suckers growing in there. It's a 113 litre or 30 gallon root pouch. And just up the top here, something I noticed during the week is that we have a banana flower forming right at the top there. Sorry it's not the best shot, but I'm pretty chuffed that we've grown a banana in a container and it's going to fruit. So thought I'd give you a bit of a sneak peek of that. Cheers folks.